Hi, this is Greg McCoach, editor of the Mining Speculator. Today I'm with President and CEO Brian Fowler of Northstar Gold Corp. We're at the September Metals Investor Forum. Brian, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here, Greg.
Yeah, and you and I, we've been doing these interviews now for quite some time. I think what we need to talk about and address right off the get-go is the market. Absolutely not cooperating with us, to say the least. But it almost feels dreadful at the moment. I tell people, don't worry about it. Don't look at it for a while. It'll change. It always does. It turns. I think we had a very good year last year, a very good summer, good exploration season. I think everyone wanted to see the same thing again. And when it didn't happen, it was a huge disappointment, no doubt. So what say you?
No, I agree. It's been hasn't been for lack of trying on our part, but yeah, it is a bit demoralizing when you're watching your share price drift, and you're doing what you can to try to keep things going, and and things are you're not reaping a reward. So we've had a few setbacks, but we're working through them, and things are looking really good right now.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit more about the market first before we get into the specifics about what you're doing and what you're excited about. I think people are patient in this business. They've been through these long doldrums. It feels more like more than doldrums at this point, but a lot of people are just understanding that this market goes when it goes, and you can't really predict it sometimes. The money comes into our sector suddenly when other sectors have problems, and you would think the Dow had a big sell-off today, and it certainly looks like we're in crash territory for a bubble market that is beyond insane at this point. So the fact that they can pump so much money into the system, I've recently let my subscribers know that I think we're coming to a major event. I think the demographics tell the story, because I'm a baby boomer. Anybody who was born in the United States, 1945 to 1964, is referred to as a baby boomer. Well, that represents 76 million investors in the United States. Those people for the last 40 years have been saving and investing their monies. The statistics are that 70% of their wealth is in the general stock market, okay? So we're coming to a major point here from a demographic standpoint. These people are all retiring. So instead of saving and paying taxes and putting money in the stock market, they're going to do the opposite. Pay no taxes, take money out of the market to live on, right? So this is an event that absolutely is baked in the cake that nobody can do anything about, and it's going to be very negative for the general market. Of course, the Fed will pump in their trillions to try to offset it, but I think it's going to cause a problem. And so I would just say this to anybody who's listening. We are going to move higher. We don't know the exact moment, but we've been through this before. And like I said to people back in 2015, when it felt as dreadful as it could possibly be, don't worry, gold's going to make a new high. Well, it did. Gold was at 12 to 1300. We ran to 2100. Now we're back to 1750, 1800. Get ready, folks. It's going to happen this time. It's going to be a big jump. And companies like Northstar and anybody who's focused on high-grade gold exploration is going to be in vogue again. So just bide our time. Buy the dips that you see like this. It's more than a dip. It's a crucifixion almost, Feels like we've been crucified here. But with the last 5 minutes, Brian, let's take time now to really hone in on what you guys are doing, what the first round of drilling told you, why you're doing the surface sampling, and where we go from here.
Certainly. No, we, if you remember, Greg, we announced in late May a high-grade gold discovery that we made with our second hole on it was an eight-hole drill program, 2,000 meters. on the Miller Gold property. And yeah, we ended up with 6.6 grams per ton over 117 meters, and that was collectively over 3 high-grade zones, with one zone that was running 1.17 kilos gold per ton over half a meter. So we clearly are onto something now. This was a 40-meter step out from a previous hole that ran 1.2 grams over 107 meters on the allied stock. So we're very pleased with that. Unfortunately, shortly after we received those results, our lab kind of just blew up, and figuratively, but we haven't seen any new assays since that time, and it's been very, very frustrating. And number of time schedules have, deadlines have come and gone, and still not seeing the results. So
Brian, are they just overwhelmed? Are they just?
It's COVID related, technical related issues, personnel. So it's like a perfect storm. And from what I understand, most labs are experiencing certain difficulties these days, but this was like epic. So we are getting results now. We've had words with them. We've said, look, okay, we got to have this. Has got to be, we got shareholders, we got a share price, and this is just untenable. So we are seeing results now, and we fully expect to have everything by the end of the month, which is great. It just took a long time. So also what's happening now is that we just earlier last week, we closed $1.7 million financing. So we were pleased with that. In late July, we commenced the surface stripping program on the Miller property. If you remember, overburden is not that thick there, and surface stripping is very, very effective. And we've stripped 6 different areas around the allied cyanite, and collectively stripped almost a hectare, and hydraulically washing it, channel sampling it, mapping, sampling it, and that's been going on. We actually doubled the size of that program because it was bearing such great results. So we've got a couple new discoveries that we're anxious to prove with assays. I encourage people to go to the website or look at my Metals Investor Forum talk. These are broad areas that are outboard. A couple of them have never seen any drill holes. So, we're very excited about this. So we got that going. We expect to get results to start trickling in by the end of the month. And also we recently announced that we're going to fire up the drill again. We've got engaged bore long years, so we got a 2,400 meter 15-hole drill program that will commence at the end of the month and follow up the high-grade zones at the allied cyanite. Drill a few holes on the number 1 vein and historic estimate on the Searles property. If you remember, there's a historic estimate there of 270,000 ounces of gold at 11.5 grams per ton. And so we'll put a few holes in there and test a couple other targets that will definitely be these new discoveries. So we're really, really excited. We're getting a lot of momentum, and I think there's going to be a lot of good news coming.
Right. Well, it certainly sounds like with the high grade results we've had, and some of this surface sampling now that's maybe pointing you in the right direction on the new discoveries, that ounces can build very quickly when it's very high grade like that. So that's very exciting from my standpoint. Again, I would just tell people, if you have the courage, buy these dips, these crazy low prices. Sooner or later, this will all reflect in much, much higher prices when gold moves. When that happens is still anybody's guess, but I hate to say sometimes that something bad has to happen in the world for gold to really move in a big way. And I mean, take your pick. There's 40 different potential black swan events that could happen at this point. I'm monitoring so many of them. It's hard to say what could happen. It's a very troubling time in the world. And I would also recommend people pay attention to the supply chain issues, just like you're having issues with getting the assays on time. It's system wide. So Prepare as best you can.